Hey guys, welcome back. Now today we're continuing our exploration of Logic Pro X and Ableton Live, and we are focusing today in particular on audio recording in both platforms. We'll build on what we've covered so far, which includes an overview of the screen layout and some basic MIDI programming. My audio will come from my bass guitar, and I'll be laying down some very simple bass lines against the MIDI production we've come up with so far. The other thing is I'll purposely make sure that some of my playing is a bit sloppy, which will allow us room to do some editing and to correct some notes and timings. That's essentially what we'll be focusing on today, so let's get started. Okay, so before we start actually recording our audio, we need to set up a few things in the audio preferences window. So we come up to Live, Preferences, and we select the Audio tab. And right here, as you can see, I'm using a PreSonus FP10, which is a 10 in, 10 out audio interface. What we need to do now is click the input configuration button, which takes us into this window. And as you can see right here, I've only got inputs 1 and 2 activated. Now I want to activate all of my 8 analog inputs. 9 and 10 on my audio interface are digital, so I'm not going to bother with those. And I'm only going to be recording mono, so I've deactivated the stereo option. Now that's done, I'll come out of that window and I'll make sure that I've got an audio track selected. I'm going to be working on track 6, which is an audio track. If I wanted to create an audio track, I'll go up to Create and then choose Insert Audio Track, and that's how I can create a fresh new one. Anyway, now there are 3 monitoring options: Auto, In, and Off. If you choose In, then this option allows you to monitor the input signal of your voice or instrument. So as you can see right here, I've got In selected. I'll make sure that I select the input channel that my instrument is actually connected to, which at the moment is input 2. And now if I play my instrument, you'll hear and you'll see that there is a response coming in on that channel. In your case, you might be using input 1 on your audio interface, and therefore you'll select input 1 here instead of input 2. It's important that you get the correct input level set up so that you're not overloading or clipping. And I recommend that you want to achieve between -18 dB and -12 dB. That will be a very good average for whether it be voice or for a musical instrument. Now the other option for monitoring is auto. Now when you've selected auto, you need to arm the track so that it's in record ready position by clicking this button. And by doing so, now you can monitor the input signal for that track that you're working on. Another important feature, especially when you're working with a musical instrument like a bass guitar or guitar, is to use a tuner, which is under the audio effects plugins. Now you'll grab it from here and you'll drag it, and you can either drop it onto the track that you're working on, or you can drop it down in this space, provided the track has been selected. And now that's on the track, and as you pass your signal through, you'll then be able to monitor and tune up your instrument. And I really like the way this works because it's very accurate and the display itself is very simple to understand. Now we're all set and ready to go. We've checked our levels and we're now ready to record. Remember also to check out my video on gain staging, which teaches you about avoiding clipping and distortion when setting up for an audio recording. So it's time now for me to lay down my bass line, so let's get started on that. Okay, so it's time to record our bass line in Logic Pro X using the same techniques as we did in Ableton Live. Now the first thing we want to do here is create a new track for the bass guitar. So I'm going to come up here and click on this button, which is the new tracks. creation button, we have two options. We can go for an audio track or we can go for a guitar or bass track. I'm going to choose this one and we're going to hit create. So we have our new track right here. And what's great about this is Logic automatically loads up the channel strip with appropriate effects plugins that might work with your electric guitar or bass. Now by default, the clean guitar category, Brit and clean settings are in place. However, if we scroll back a bit and we go to electric bass, clean bass, and on this occasion I'm going to be using the tone sculptor setting, and as you can see right here, the channel strip settings have changed to something that is more suited to a bass guitar. I'm now going to press letter Y on the keyboard to close the library window, and that's the keyboard shortcut for that. And our track is all set up now and ready to go. All I need to do now is make sure that my input level is appropriate and the signal is peaking between -18 dB and -12 dB as we did in Ableton, and then I'll put down my bass line. But before that, what I'm going to do is insert a tuner plugin just like we did in Ableton, and right here is the Logic Pro X Tuner plugin, and again it's very accurate and works really well when you're tuning up your guitar, bass or other instrument. Anyway, let's get down to recording that bass line. Okay guys, so I hope you have benefited from the audio recording demonstrations so far in both Logic and Ableton. In our next video, we'll look at how to go about editing the recordings that we've captured. Now do remember to check out the other videos in the series so far, and if you haven't already done so, do give me a thumbs up, subscribe and comment, and remember to share as well, because we want to try and get the message out to more and more people. I'll be back real soon with the next episode. I'm Dr. Deuce. Peace.